important, God of heaven have been in the business of not forgetting people but remembering people. And if God must remember you, why does God remember people? When I was talking a while ago, I told you that these people have been together. They've gone through thick and thin. They've displayed various characters. Yet, they still deemed it fit and concluded that they must drag themselves before the Most High to get His legal and direct blessing. So my first point this morning is, who does God remember? What type of a person does God remember? In Genesis chapter 8 verse 1 to 3, this question was answered. The Bible said that God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over somebody here, that the problem that kept you stagnated will be over in no time after this service. Do you agree with me? Because God will remember you today. And so shall it be in the name of Jesus. The second point says that personal recognition of God in the good that happened to you can provoke God to remember you in your affliction. Personal recognition. When good things happen to you, recognizing God personally, that it is by His mercies that that blessing, that good thing happened to you, is important record for heaven to keep. And that is part of what makes God remember people. When good thing happened to you, how did you react to it? When people ask you questions about it, what kind of answer did you give? Hear this. As a father in the house, if your daughter is privileged to marry, child of God, give God credit for it. As a father, as a mother, if your son is doing well in every areas of life, it is important that you recognize God for His mercies and for His fingers. Praise the Lord. What are we trying to say? There are people that when good happen to them, the next place you will see them is in the bar. And they tell their stories there. And obviously, they praise themselves there. I just got promoted. That is why I'm declaring drink today. And that is what you will hear. You need to see the promotion exam. I read, I brought out my intelligence, and I wrote, and I even knew that I would be promoted above everybody because I was too good upstairs. Hear me, the Bible said it's not by power nor by might but by the Spirit. There is no good achievement any living person has achieved that was not done by the help and by the mercies of God. Nowadays, people no longer recognize God. Praise the Lord. What are we trying to say? That personal recognition of God in the good that has happened to you is a panacea to activate God's remembrance in your time of affliction. Praise the Lord. I stumbled into a lady on one of those days in counseling. After giving some vision, the girl started crying. The lady started crying. And I asked her, what is making you cry? She said, I just opened a can of worm for her. I said, I don't understand. She said, some years ago, she was kidnapped, taken into the bush, and kept there for days. And before her, they were killing people. And just when she was trying to figure out what next is going to happen to her, the kidnappers came to her and said, have you not called somebody yet? Because if we don't get a call, we'll waste you like we wasted this one. And night came, she was shaking because she didn't have anybody to call. The only person she relied on was God. And she said she sat back and listened in that night and heard the kidnappers snoring. They were sitting on the chair with their guns intact. they were snoring. So something told her, open the window. She said if she touched the window, that they may wake up and they will shoot her immediately. And the thing prompted her again, open the window. To cut a long story short, she sneaked, touched the window opened. And she tore the net that was there, looked outside. This side was lonely, this other side was noisy. And the something told her, follow this side that is noisy. She said the noise means somebody is there. And the thing prompted her again. So by the time she decided to peep again, to look at that side she was asked to go, it was like somebody pushed her out of the window. She fell down. In order for the kidnappers not to wake up and start coming after her, she ran towards the noisy side and discovered that the noise was coming from far away from people who were watching the night. That was how she stumbled into the bush, and then she got to a certain part of the road, and God rescued her. And I told her that for God to remember you this way,